Look, man, you gotta become obsessed with what you want, bro. Simple as that. Like, you gotta become obsessed with your craft, your dreams, your goals, your ambitions, where you wanna be in life. You gotta become obsessed with that. And if you're not obsessed with it, bro, I promise you there's somebody else out there that is. Like, there's somebody else out there more obsessed than you. And they're gonna win every single time. They're gonna take your spot every single time. They're gonna take your opportunities every single time. Like, you can't let somebody be more, locked in than you. Can't let somebody be, more all in than you are. You got to become obsessed, bro. And being obsessed is not just being interested in something. Obsessed means you think about it constantly. You prioritize it. You're willing to sacrifice for it. You're willing to go all in and do anything it takes to be where you want to be, to reach your goals, to reach your dreams, to be successful. That's what obsessed means. But there is a difference between an unhealthy obsession and a purposeful, mission-driven obsession. Like, be obsessed with your purpose. Be purposeful in every single thing that you do. Be purposeful in, thinking about it constantly and prioritizing it and, sacrificing for it. But don't get to a point where it's unhealthy. Don't get to a point where it's literally all you think about. Like, yeah, it's supposed to be number one on your list. It's supposed to be number one on, your priorities, but don't make it unhealthy, bro. Like, don't get to an unhealthy point where you're literally driving yourself crazy going hard for this, or you're driving yourself crazy thinking about this all the time. Like, that's not good for you. Be purposeful and be mission driven with your obsession. Do the right things that you need to do the things in order to take steps forward, but don't make it unhealthy. And obsession is necessary for mastery. Average effort ain't gonna get you nowhere. Average work ain't gonna get you nowhere. Inconsistent work, inconsistent effort, like, that's not gonna get you anywhere. Average effort produces average results. Average consistency is gonna produce average, success, average output. Like, you gotta be consistent. You gotta be elite. Like, not average. You gotta be elite. You gotta put in elite effort, immense effort, and you're gonna get elite results. You're gonna get elite, success. All the greats, the athletes, the artists, the entrepreneurs, like all the great people, successful people out here, they had an obsession with their craft. Think about these people. Like, bro, I heard Mr. Beast talking about this the other day on a podcast. Like, he was obsessed with growing on YouTube every day. He was obsessed with content and posting and editing every single day. And why do you think he's the biggest, most subscribed to YouTuber out here? Like, he's obsessed with his craft. He's obsessed with what he wanted to do, bro. Like, the greats out here, the most successful people out here became obsessed with what they want. So you trying to become this thing and you trying to become successful, like, why don't you want to become obsessed with it? Like, it's necessary for you to grow. It's necessary for you to be where you want to be. Like, you become what you consistently do. You become what you consistently practice. You become what you consistently think about and work on. Like, consistency can take you a long way, but obsession is where you, like, take that next step. Obsession is where you take consistency and take that to another level. When you prioritize these things every day, when you sacrifice for it every day, when you go all in with it every single day, and you're consistent about it, like, you become that consistency. You become what you consistently think about and what you consistently work on. Like, that's what you become. So why not become obsessed, and why not be consistent with it? And to become obsessed, like, you got to find your why. Like, it's hard to do things if there's no why behind it, if there's no purpose behind it, if there's no passion behind it. Like, your purpose fuels your passion. So find your purpose, find your why. There's a lot of people that talk about your why. Like, that could be your family, like yourself. There's many different things that your why could be, and nobody's why is going to be the same. So you got to find your why. You got to find your purpose, and that purpose is going to fuel your passion. That purpose is going to fuel your obsession to get up and want to do it every day, to get up and want to put the work in every day and prioritize this thing every single day. Fall in love with the process, fall in love with the journey, become obsessed with the process, not just the outcome, not just the end goal. You can't fall in love with the end goal. You can't be obsessed with the end goal if you're not obsessed with the process. because the process is what gets you there. So why not go ahead and be obsessed with that? Like I've always said, that process, that journey is only going to make your success or that end goal or that outcome hit even different, bro. Like fall in love with your process, fall in love with your journey, make it a part of your identity. So speak to yourself like, I'm a leader, I'm a business owner, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a content creator. Like, this is who I am. Make that your identity. That's an easy way to become obsessed with it. Like, make it your identity, bro. Like, walk around telling yourself that you're already where you want to be. Walk around telling yourself that you're a six-figure business owner. You're a full-time content creator. Like, make that your identity. Own it. Become that. Think that this is who I am, and live up to that and be that person every single day. Make that your identity. Wake up thinking about how to improve. Wake up thinking about your next idea. Wake up thinking about, the next step you're going to take to go forward. Constantly study, constantly train, evaluate, work, take steps forward. Like, bro, become obsessed with your craft. Become obsessed with what you want to do. Like, you don't need motivation when you're obsessed. This falls into that discipline category again. Like, when you're obsessed with what you want to do, bro, like, you don't need motivation. All you need is discipline. All you need is consistency. All you need is a purpose or a why. And all you need is vision. Like, you don't need motivation. Motivation gets thrown out the window. You're already obsessed with what you want to do. You're already in love with what you want to do. So just go do it. Just go be disciplined and do it on the days you don't want to. Have a vision, have a purpose of how you want to move, how you want to take steps forward. Have your why. You should be driven off your why. You should be driven off your discipline. You should be driven off your purpose, not motivation. You don't need motivation. Become obsessed and be driven off your purpose. Become obsessed and be driven off your discipline. And bro, like, a lot happens when you go all in, bro. Like, just go all in. Just fall in love with it. Just become obsessed and watch what can happen. When you go all in, you separate yourself from others. Like, you separate yourself from the people that are maybe 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like, you're all in. You're going to separate yourself. You're going to elevate. You're going to take steps forward. You're going to become that best version of yourself. You're going to separate yourself when you go all in. And also when you go all in, bro, there's many doors. There's many opportunities that may open. Your skills start to sharpen. Your confidence starts to grow. Like, there's many different things that come from just going all in and just becoming obsessed. And you become undeniable. Like, nobody's going to stop you. You become unstoppable. You're obsessed with it. Ain't nobody going to stop you. Ain't nobody going to, take you off your path. You're falling in love with it. You're obsessed with it. Ain't nothing in this world and ain't nobody going to stop you from getting to where you want to go. So just go all in, bro. Like, that's my word to you today. Go all in on whatever it is you want to do. Go all in on your craft. Go all in on your goals, your dreams. Just become obsessed with it and become unstoppable. Like, bro, look at yourself in the mirror today and ask yourself, bro, like, am I just interested in this, or am I obsessed? Am I purpose driven? Is this my purpose? Is this my why? Is this really what I want to do with my life? The difference between being obsessed and being interested is the difference between how your future will play out. How you will reach your goals, how you will reach your dreams. Being obsessed or being interested is the difference. If you really want to do what you say you want to do, bro, you got to become obsessed. You got to fall in love with the process. You got to wake up and prioritize it every day. You got to make sacrifices. That's what obsession does. Obsession takes you to that next level. And that's where everybody watching this video right now wants to be. So why not become obsessed? Why not lock in and go all in on your dreams and your goals? Become obsessed and become unstoppable. But that'll be all for this video, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you like this video, go hit that sub button on the way to 300 subs. Appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I'll see you on the next one.